Alright, everybody, we are back here. I want to, if you hear any weird noises in the background, it could be because the situation is a little bit crazy here. I don't know how to describe it. I'm very calm. But apparently some people are starting to get crazy. But anyway... Oh god, yes, my timer, sorry. We need to finish still our conversation with Dakon. So I don't know, should I move a bit? Because he doesn't want to talk about it now, but I feel like I should talk... I should do the Zertimon thing before getting into the mortuary. I don't know, going into the mortuary it seems a little bit final. Oh my god! Okay, let's learn all of this. But hey, this is... Oh, I already have this? Somehow, this is for you. This is for you. Dakon. Because he gave both the rings to me. Huh. So, I'm gonna take a look at my spell books. And then I'll try talking to him again, maybe. Alright, we are ready. I do not have that many slots, but Dakon does. So I reorganized his a little bit. I took away the identification spells, I kept one, and that's about it. Let's talk to him again.
What is your will?
Teachings. Can I speak more about the circle with you? Okay, guys, I don't know if this is finished or not. I just know that I have to proceed with the game, unfortunately, so I will have to enter the mortuary. I don't think I have anything left to do. I wanted to ask Grace, maybe if I could read her diary? The other people don't really have new...
Yes.
I don't think I had this dialogue. I'm not sure I attach any value to a name, says the nameless one. Because of her name. And she says, truly, a name is a cloak of letters thrown across a person, nothing more. A name can sometimes tell you something about a fraction of the person, maybe even help define that person, but that's not what the person is. Your point is well taken. So why are you called Fall from Grace? Would it matter? She smiles. It is but a cloak of letters. I don't know, did we talk about this or not? It matters to me? I don't think we talked about this. I have fallen from my people. Some would say reason from my people perhaps, but fall feels more right to me. She looks at you questioningly. Does that make sense? Yeah, fall from grace, alright. Yes, it does. After all, fall carries with it an underlying sense of loss. Fall from grace is silent for a moment, then nods thoughtfully. Yes, perhaps that is why it felt as it did. I came to terms with the loss long ago, but the name has remained. Oh, Ravel dialogue! Oh my god. Are you sure you've come to terms with it? Ravel didn't seem to think that you had. My god, there's more to be had, guys. I'm happy, but it's so difficult sometimes to remember what you talked of with someone and what not. Because I think I've tried to exhaust all my options, but Anna should have a dialogue like this. Morte should have a dialogue like this, but they don't. Alright, the fall from grace is silent for a moment, her gaze becoming distant. When she turns back to you, her eyes are a strange shade of azure. a shade that speaks of sadness and tears. Ravel sees much with her black brambled eyes. Some things which are hidden to others' eyes, even things about their own natures. She shakes her head slowly. Sometimes the pain makes itself known. I have learned it is a difficult thing to turn on one's nature. Are you alright? She smiles very faintly and she meets your gaze. Yes, you are kind to ask. The pain still makes itself known, but I came to terms with my nature many centuries ago. Very well, then. Grace stops you before you can continue. I thank you for asking about my well-being. Your concern is not unwelcome. Okay, and it's done. Can I read your diary? No. Please. A lady must have her secret. So yeah, this... I don't know what the diary will do. Maybe... I think she's a love interest, right? I think I remember some dialogue in which you could maybe make her your love interest. Maybe the dialogue... diary becomes available. In that case... I don't know. It is what it is. So we are... Oh, we are going to sleep first because I need to recharge all my spells. And then we are going to go, guys, because I can't... Should have... Oh, where am I? Should have started all that Zerthimon thing long before. Now I would just be wasting your time if I'd stay still. I don't know, I could wander around and just wait. Maybe passing one day or some rest will activate new dialogue? I'll try.
Done.
Oh, it's night. Okay, tell me, Dakon.
What is your will?
Nothing new. So I have to assume now that I'm done with that whole thing, and we need to start moving on. I'm going to enter the mortuary via Pox. Here we go. Oh my god.
I'm gone.
That's all of us here. Is this part of the mortuary still safe? Yeah, it is. Hey, you. So you have returned. No news from him. Aveen is not here anymore. Oh. Well, okay, if Marta... I think I told you. I went to check on Marta and she wasn't there. And so of course, is Aveen. She's not here anymore. Do you guys remember where we needed to go? Hello. Come on.
My love, you have returned to me. Can it be that your memories have returned?
No.
I shall wait for you in Death's Halls, my love.
Okay, it's a bit disappointing. I know about that portal. That's the one to get out of here. I've been wondering for a while, but I don't think I got this. Am I supposed to use an object? This one? Wait. I cannot use it. Wait, I don't think. The key is regret, but I don't really have an object that's connected to it. How do you... Maybe I'm not in the right place? I've been wandering around, guys, and it's almost as if nothing is appearing, nothing is... It's tricky though, because it could be in any corner and... literally any corner. I asked Morty if he did know, but he didn't give me any dialogue. I don't know. How do you have a regret? Well, supposedly the key is you yourself, and when you get close to the portal, then probably some dialogue trigger, and it will tell you think about that time when... I don't know. The problem is, where is the portal? Hey, we got it! It was right where we materialized. I went everywhere else, so yay! I think this is it. There is something about the arch in front of you, something hauntingly familiar. A bone-numbing chill blankets the air between these two black pillars, as if the arch itself bordered on some other colder space. For some reason, you know this is the portal to the Fortress of Regrets. Now all you need to do is open it. Well, let's do this. Let's take away some skin. You clench your teeth and dig your fingernails into your left forearm. With a dry, tearing sound, you peel off a strip of skin. The chill between the pillars becomes stronger, almost hungering, as if the portal has opened a crack. The scrap of skin has been peeled from the back of your left forearm. Its scarred grey surface reminds you of a zombie's hide. It feels more like a piece of cured leather than a strip of skin. Let's write something. With my blood. You prick the tip of your index finger. Before the wound can heal, you squeeze forth several drops of blood. As you prepare to scroll your regret, a series of images float across your mind. I regret what happened to my companions. I regret my actions. My past, events that have led up to this point. Is it even important to... Does change... I mean, all these options. Does it change? Whether you use one or another, what does change? I regret Deonara. I think I should use her as my vehicle. I regret my actions. Well, having to slay Ravel. I wandered all over the plains when the damn portal was right here when I first woke up. Think of another regret. Let's read them all. What happened to my companions? They had to suffer, enslaving Dakon all these decades. Oh. My past. Ever asking to become immortal. Finn and lies murder. Lying to Deionara to force her to accompany me on my journey. Murdering Deionara at the Fortress of Regrets. There's more. And then we have regret events that have led up to this point, such as... It took this long to find where my mortality lies. Many deaths. That I have no regrets to write upon this scrap of skin. That's interesting. But I'm going with what I think I would go. Couldn't be one... Did you have to do two? Game? Just... Murdering her. Murdering or lying to her. Both? It's all the same thing. Let's go with lying, because I'm tired. You scroll the regret into a scrap of flesh, but your rapid healing forces you to stop often and reopen the cut on your finger and squeeze forth more blood. Several moments later you have finished, your blood glistening on the scrap of skin, a combination of your flesh, your blood and your regret. As you watch the bloody regret dry, a wave of cold washes over you. You look up, the black pillars to either side of the arch are glowing softly, motes of misty blue light drifting from their sides to form a shimmering curtain between them. Beyond the curtain, you can barely make out a weathered stone causeway leading into darkness. Everybody ready? Valor answers only with silence as you turn to look at him. You see his eyes burning into you. They flicker for a moment as if in thought. Then you are suddenly struck by a terrible feeling is searching your features, as if looking for something, some weakness. Fall from grace? I come this far and it would be rude of me to retire before the final hour. She smiles slightly. Even if you were to ask politely, I would not permit it. Hannah? Hannah glares at Fall from Grace, then turns to you, fires in her eyes. If she goes, I'll go, so I will. I'll not turn stag on you here, I won't. Wow, thank you. What a child! Very well, Dakon. Yeah, I mean, why would I doubt Dakon at this point? Your path is mine. You're so cute. You ready, Morte? Morte hesitates, glances at the portal, glances at you, glances at the portal again, then gives a rattling sigh. Look, I'm not going to say too much here, but, well, there is something I need to tell you. What is it? Well, it's about where we're going, actually where we've been. Where we've been? What are you talking about? It's so subtle, you almost miss it. Dakon's blade flickers, the edge dulling. As you glance at him, his hands drop to his side as if he's preparing for battle. This is the first time we've been through this. You see, you've been to this Fortress of Regrets before, though I didn't know it then. But of course I know. It is kind of implied. Because if I murdered Deionara in the Fortress of Regrets, then you were there too. Because he's undead. I mean, Morte isn't, right? Oh, yeah. You didn't know. How is that possible? It's hard to explain until you've been there. Besides, you didn't know the other you. He wasn't exactly the kind of basher to share the chant with us. I mean, I knew he was looking for some place, but I didn't know why, where it was, or what it was, so I couldn't say anything to you, because I didn't know anything. I just know what happened when we got here. And what happened? Well, we went into this fortress, and even before we land foot in this place, we're all split up, fighting for our lives. He shudders. So the first thing I want to tell you is, if you're determined to go through with this, there's a good chance that anybody who goes through that portal is going to end up somewhere far away from everybody else. Thing is, even split up, we may be your only hope. Why do you say that? Because whatever was waiting in that fortress for you, Chief, it already defeated you once, to this day. I don't know how you managed to survive, but if you fall again, you're going to need someone there to pull you out of that fortress. Okay, Morte, I need you to tell me everything you can about the fortress. It's important. This fortress of regrets, it stretches on for leagues. On 4 leagues, Chief. It's a fortress, but it feels more like a plane in itself, all stone and darkness and shadows, everywhere shadows. We go there and we better be prepared. What happened when we first went there? Chief, I don't know what happened to you, but I know what happened to me. I spent my time running from vault to vault, those shadows crawling all over me, trying to bring me down. Then I just suddenly... We were out, like someone had pulled us back. Hold on a moment. When you say us, it doesn't sound like it meant just you and me. Morte falls silent. Know that I have walked your path many times. Dakon speaks slowly, as if measuring each word. His blade has become a misty grey, as if Dakon's mind has drifted. A portion of your path is known to me. Five walked the path to the fortress. Each died their own death. But who were they? How did they die? I died the death of fate. The skull died the death of courage. The woman died the death of grief. The blind archer died the final and most merciful death, the death of the body. You died the death of memory. But who were these people? The skull was me, Morte says quietly. The woman was some cheat named Dayonara. I never knew the archer. He was the one who knew his targets without seeing them. Many shadows fell beneath his rain of arrows. Yeah, I wish I had this companion. But he's dead, supposedly. Yeah, Morte rattles as if shivering. Chief, at this fortress there's shadows everywhere. There was darkness there, and every shadow was shrugged lore. Dakon's voice is a whisper, and his dead black eyes seem to be staring at something just beyond you. They are tormented creatures. The wounds in your spirit are known to them. They will attack you through them. They spoke to me like the Pillar of Skulls. Morte's voice drops. They knew. Alright, look, you two, I need to know all you can tell me about this fortress. The shadows suffer. They know of torment. They know how to torture you with that which has wounded your heart. When you face them, know that you face that which has killed you once. Dakon, Morte, you and I survived. What happened to the archer and the Yonara? Yeah, the Yonara we know. But this archer? The archer died at the death of the body, the woman died at the death of the spirit. I could not save the woman because it was not your will that she be saved. Her grave was dry of tears. No one knew to mourn her passing. But why did I not want her saved? Your will was known only to you. All right. Look, you two, I need to know all you can tell me about this fortress. Again? I can't tell you anymore, Chief, except we're bound to be divided as soon as we arrive. It's a huge place, and it's crawling with shadows. And somewhere in the fortress is something more powerful than any of us. Nothing lives there. The walls are darkness. Anything else? Well, Morte pauses. Yeah, there's one other thing you should know. The you I knew before, the you that led us here, he wasn't like you at all. Yeah, I know. Possibly not. The other you, he didn't care very much for anybody, for anyone. We could have all died in the fortress and he wouldn't have blinked, so I just want you to hold on to your differences because, well, I like this you better, a lot better. But that's not all you wanna say? No, Morte pauses. There is one other thing. I may not have liked that other you very much, but he was one smart basher. The smartest basher I've ever known. He always had every angle covered. If he died at the fortress, that means, well... You don't think I can succeed? No, Morty shakes his head. It's not that, Chief, because it's not always who's smartest or who's the most powerful or who's the toughest. Sometimes it comes down to who you are and what you really want. I mean, once you wanted to become immortal, but in the end, is that really what you wanted? Just be sure of what you want this time, it's all I'm saying. Fair enough. Look, Morte, we haven't really talked about this, but you know you don't have to come with me to this place, right? I'll understand if you don't want to. Yeah, I know, Chief, and I can't lie to you. I don't want to go, but I will. Just know that once we step through that portal, it isn't going to be just about you anymore. This is our life you're playing with, and we don't get back up when we die. But that's not true. Well, I mean, I can resuscitate you guys. I don't know. Maybe that's just a game mechanic. Maybe in the fortress, people die in the fortress and that's it. Then why are you... It's because of what Ravel said in the maze. Grace's voice is soft, as so soft you almost missed it. Isn't it, Morte? What Ravel said in the maze, she said you draw people who suffer to you like a lodestone. Morte shakes his head. Maybe it's because you've been suffering all this time. Maybe when you end up settling things, maybe we'll know a bit of peace too. Maybe. Maybe so. Then, are you with me, Morte? Why not, Chief? Morte shakes his head. I mean, we've gone to every other horrible plane in the multiverse I can think of. Why not take that extra step over the cliff? He gives a rattling sigh. Are you ready? Because if you're not... There's nothing more I can do to prepare myself. Well, I could have bought healing items. But... I'm just gonna go. I reload. If it is really that bad. Let's go. Well, Morte glances at the shimmering blue curtain and gives another rattling sigh. Sure, let's go. I mean, any place else has got to be better than rattling our bone box in the mortuary, right? Are you about to betray me? Alright then.
I feel stronger.
Oh? Why don't I have the leveling up button?
Yes?
Endure.
I am Valor.
Enduring grows strong.
Sometimes they don't... So we leveled now? But not really, because I can't level up. Alright then. Let's go. Negative material plane. Oh yes. I knew there was something to do with that token. I had something. This place is huge. Oh, this is gonna be trouble.
Done.
I don't know where I'm going. I'm just going. It's a maze. Hello? Before you is the ghostly form of Deionara. Her spectral gown seems stirred by some ethereal breeze. She's standing at the edge of the black stone causeway, staring out into the emptiness of the plain. Deionara? Oops. My love, you should not be here. You must leave at once. Leonara, what is this place? Is this the fortress? Duh. This is the Fortress of Regrets. It is the place that holds the moment of my death. Prisoner, and I may not stray far from its halls. The moment of my death, prisoner. If you can find a way back to Sigil, you must. If you stay here, my love, you shall die. What about my immortality? Surely I'm still immortal, even here. Shakes her head. No, my love, there is something about this fortress. The shell that surrounds it cuts it off from the rest of the planes. It is that shell that acts as a barrier to your immortality. Okay, so we are exactly in the place where we can be killed, and where we can be killed and use the weapon from the siege tower. How could this shell act as an obstacle? That makes no sense. As I have maintained my vigil here in this place, I have come to learn the nature of your immortality, my love. It is a thing which hungers for the lives of others. At the moment of your death, it claims another living thing in your place. Wait. It is a thing which hungers for the lives of others. At the moment of your death, it claims another living thing in your place. Okay, so I imagined something like that could happen, allowing you to live. Yes, the soul that dies in your place is brought here to the fortress as a shadow. I believe this shell prevents your immortality from finding another victim. So when I die, another dies in my place, and if it can't find another living thing to die for me... That's how he got out with Leonara. Then if you die in this place, it is the end, for there is nothing that lives here. So you must be careful. Return back to Sigil and leave this cursed place. But my allies are here, and that means they are inside this shell. What happens to them if I die? My love, if you have brought anything that lives with you to this place, then it is in terrible danger, both from the shadows and from you. Should you die here, your immortality will hunt for the closest living thing in the fortress. And that is the one that shall die in your place. You must live here now. I can't go back, so can you tell me anything else that might be helpful? What waits inside the fortress?